I am Anna Simon, and I will be your host today on tutorials on how to create a successful business online. Yes, success, spiritual business, psychic business, any business. But mostly I'm an expert in my spiritual business and creating it over the past 20 years and how did I do it. And I'm going to give you some tips, a few tips here. But first, always say a special affirmation prayer. And so we're going to do it with the angels. Archangel Bariel, prayer for abundance. I'm going to send you some happy energy. And I'm going to help you guys. And I'm going to do a prayer. Mighty I am, the riches of God flowing into my hands and use now and continuously. Amen. To all of you, you all that are watching this, is going to open your abundance flow in many levels. So we always do a prayer and ask for Archangel Michael to come in and give a protection, and that this is a blessed tutorial for everyone that is hearing it, of course. So let's get back. The prayer is done, the protection, we are protected, because that's my golden rule. Protect yourself before you stream and open the realm and talk and help others. So my name is Anna Simon. I'm a spiritual, intuitive, author, mentor for 20 years now, for nearly 20 years or more now. And the way I created was very, I'm going to give you some tips, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. About 20 some years ago, I started just doing this as a psychic medium. I was a paralegal prior, and I was a young wife, and you know the story. My ex-husband shook my son, and he can never walk, and he's 20 years old now in a wheelchair for life, and he inspired me to do this, to help others to succeed and to be there for, you know, my kids. And this was like 20 some years ago. My kids are adults now, but yes, I do have adult children. And to be serious now, the truth from the heart, it created the balance, and it created me the desire to be successful for them. And I did it because I love my children. I love spirituality. I love helping others. And I did it for them. And, you know, I didn't want to go outside the home anymore because of that situation. And God opened the door. And one day I went to a reader, believe it or not, and I did it on the phone. It was back then when you did like the 900 numbers, you know. She read me and she says, "You are going to do great things." And of course I thought, well, yeah, okay, this lady's telling me, you know, yeah, okay, whatever, right? And so no, I called her again, and she described some things that occurred. So I called her that time again. She goes, "No, you have so much gifts. You needed to use your gifts and help others. And here's a phone number. You can make more than just doing what you're doing." And I felt an intuition. I felt a feeling inside. And I said, "Do it." So I did it. And the feeling later on I knew was the angels guiding me. And I did it, and I started reading like tarot cards and things over the phone. And I kind of took the bull by the horn, and my kids were young, and my mother was there to help me watch them when I was working. At times they would bang on the door like, "Oh no, bad timing." And I would go in the closet and do readings, you know, because, you know, kids are kids. I had my hours though. You know, they weren't supposed to knock, but they're kids, you know, the kids too crazy. Kids are kids. They're well disciplined. They're good kids, but they want their mother. And I was working, and of course it happens when the busiest time, because when I wasn't busy, they were in their own world playing, and then they wanted me when I was busy. Of course, it always happened like that, but that's just kids, okay? But anyways, so I worked literally 12 hours a day in the beginning for the first year, okay? I worked my booty off, okay? And I build my clientele. So every day people say, well, they want it easy nowadays, right? It wasn't easy for me. And this is why I do very well financially now, because I worked hard. And what's financial to you? I make a high six figures. I'm not going to divulge my income, but I do very, very well. And without an education, and I did paralegal, I got my certificate, but on this field, there's no degree. It's nice to get a certificate from a school, but connecting to God and doing the readings is not, there's no degree for that. But I'm a spiritual teacher now, 20 years forward, author, and helping the world. It was amazing. But back then, I really literally worked my tail off. I cleaned up like a space in my room, because back then I didn't buy my first house yet until I was like 21, 22. I got very prosperous in what I was doing. But I built a little desk area, and I put the ambiance, and I had my candle going, and I had my tarot cards, and I had my phone with the little headset back in the days, and and it was, wow, I get some doozies back then. It was very like poor. I mean, people would call and I felt bad for them, and I would talk to them, and they're like, oh my God, you're like a friend. And yes, I go, but if you don't listen to your guidance, it's going to be very hard. I learned throughout the years, you learn as you go, and I became more professional, because in the beginning, I didn't have a teacher like I'm teaching you right now. I didn't have one of those. The lady just gave me a reading, and we were friends, and I had to learn on my own. She just, here you go. And, I had to just get on the horse and do it myself, right? And I did. But it was honestly a lot of work. I created a name for myself. Back then, I think they were starting to have the internet, 1990 something. Yes, 95, I think they were. And so I started using little things. It was so different back then. Technology is awesome now, but back then it was not like this at all. And I worked my tail off, and I visualized myself. I did prayers. I had candles. I said, God, I'm going to make this much. And back then I was like so happy to make 200 a day, which I make a lot more now. But back then it was like, wow, this manifestation stuff works. God works, doing God's work is great. I get to stay home with my kids and feed them and buy them a house. And I started buying my houses, and I started buying my cars, and back then I was a kid with all this money, and I didn't know what to do because I came from poverty, right? And I created my own business, and it's like, what do I do? And I learned when I was young, and don't ever do this, okay? I was making back then it was really like 30 grand a month. I started after the year. And to me, that coming from poverty, childhood, that was what to do. I spent it, right? Took care of the kids, I bought a house, I bought a car. And that's, sometimes you don't need to do those things, okay? Get a house, be humble, budget, save it for the colleges, things like that. But I was a kid, I didn't know. So I just worked. And then I built a name up for myself 5 years later. And the first year I started making so much, and then the next year it just grew. And I say I've been pretty much in a high financial level about 5 years into it back then. So I say 15 years now. So basically what I'm trying to say, tip is to get your niche on what you want to do. And the spiritual part is how to have a successful spiritual business. Say you learn from a guru, or you learn from a teacher how to read cards, or angel cards, or certificate. Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, and I might get hit in the head for this one. I didn't do it with no certificates. It's good to know the knowledge, but you really don't really need it if you want to succeed, because God is a divine source of knowledge on that. You could use it. You could have a guide, because these teachers are awesome. I'm a teacher too, spiritual teachers, but I did it with no degree. But, I worked my tail off, and I kind of did my own websites, and I see what worked, what didn't work. Sometimes it's going to be hard. Things that are not going to work, and you're going to feel bad. Don't feel bad. Just get up, rise again, and do something different. So remember, put God into your business. That's very important. When you wake up, give grace. put an intention. Say, God, I am making so much today, and that's the bottom line. I know that you're saying, oh my gosh, he talks to God like that. No, he likes that. It's like your intention, your energy flow, your poof, you know, like poof, as we say. And so it's like your little thought of bubbles going up to heaven, and then God hears it and he goes, ah, that girl, she's taking action. I'm going to reward her. I'm going to bring it to her. That other person needs to call her. There's a message through her. It's like a bubble of intention. So you do that. Second of all, take action to God. Show him. Get up. Start blogging. Blogging works. Video blogging like I'm doing. Give something free. I'm doing video tutorials, you know, and if people, it kind of creates like they get to know you, and you got to be personable. You got to be there for your clients. You got to be consistent. Let's say that again, consistent. If you're going to say you're going to be there from 10 to 5, then you better be there in the beginning. For instance, I had a student, no names. I had a student that wanted to be the next guru right away. And I'm like, that's not how it works. You have to build your blocks, your foundation, okay? You cannot go from step A to step Z. I mean, like this, you'll fail. You have to take the step. You have to earn the years. You have to do the work. You can't make $200 an hour right away without the experience. It might be in 2 years, might be in a year, but you got to do your baby steps, because then, you know, people are going to look at you and say, hey, you know, you're charging a lot. How long have you been doing this? You could charge as much as you want. I'm not saying that you can't, but you want to help everybody too. And successful people are 1, personable, 2, consistent, and 3, priced appropriate. Yes, I did say that. Price appropriate, because you want to make sure, and this is just my opinion, this is me, this is my channel, so I get to say these things, is for me, you might want to dibble dabble in different ways on your pricing, but for me, I made it affordable because I want to reach the masses, and I want to help not just the wealthy, but everyone else. Everyone deserves a good mentor. So you find your niche, you find your price, you blog, you get up and give grace to God. That is right. The key to the successful spiritual business is putting God in your business. I don't mean you have to show off and put in pictures and all that. I mean, you could pray behind the scenes. You could give grace. You could throw your intention out there. You could, you know, meditate. Meditation is the key to inner peace, to connecting to God's source. Meditation is wonderful. After this, I'm going to go meditate. I'm going to lay there and say, oh, honey, turn off the TV. And I'm going to meditate and say, this was a blessed day. Tomorrow's going to be a fantastic day. Tomorrow's my day off. So Saturday. But I'm telling you, to have a successful business, you must, I repeat, dedicate yourself the first year to your business. Okay, forget about partying. I'm not saying you do. Forget about like not doing the work. If you're not going to do the work, you're not going to produce. It's going to take forever. If you do the hard hours, like say the first 6 to 8 months, you are going to get results. And then guess what? I'm giving you like the tips. Nobody gave me tips. It took years for me because nobody like guided me on that. I'm guiding you. If you do the homework and the work, and I'm talking about the 6 to 8 months, like boom, 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 hit it hard, wake up, have coffee or tea or whatever you have, get on the computer, start blogging. And if you don't have a computer, start networking, buying cards that are cheap. It's been so affordable to make a free website. Do WordPress, awesome. You could create that into a website. There's so much software, free stuff that you could be an expert. But you're gonna have to put the hours. I do when I wake up, I pray, I go and blog, I actually post to I have all the social sites, so I post. And then I wake up and I look at my calendar and I look at my Schedulista and I look in there, oh, my clients are going to call. And then I try to cook in between. It's like, but I do it. And then I do my radio show and my streamings. And you know what? I'm producing. And you know what? Google likes that. The more you put out there, and with Google, eventually in the 90-day stream, it's gonna get picked up. And people are going to see you more, and you're going to build a foundation. You're going to build a company, a business. Go figure. So seriously, dedication. Okay, don't get lazy. If you want something, you got to go out there and do it. Nothing's free in this world. You know that. And if you want to be the next guru, well, then you're going to have to put in the work. And that means follow the people that are successful, okay? Follow the people that made it. Follow the people that are happy in their marriage. Follow people that believe in helping people. Follow people that believe in God, because God is great and wonderful, and he does exist. He, she, energy, God, creator. And allow the angels to protect you. But if you want a successful spiritual business and you're already like a reader or you're already a teacher, and you want to know how to monetize it, you got to let yourself be known by, yes, I know I was opposed to it back in the days, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, YouTube. I love YouTube. Shout out to YouTube. Great. And now, I'm doing online courses. I'm going to be doing them on me. Very good. More resources, the better, but you got to do the homework and you got to be consistent. If you're going to be counseling people, then you got to be there for them. If you're going to be doing groups and stuff, you got to be consistent, because they expect to see you. And if they don't see you, guess what? They go somewhere else. So your store got to be open to produce. And don't think that you're ready, like when you start a business, oh, I'm only working 2 hours a day. No. You're not at that level yet to work 2 hours a day. So you're going to have to hit it hard in the beginning. Now, I'm being honest. I'm not trying to float your boat and break your dreams, because you're going to make it. If you use all these tools that I gave you earlier, you're going to make it. You're going to be so successful. And I'm giving you part of my tips, okay? Because the teacher wants you to be happy. I'm happy. I get up and I sometimes I work till 11 o'clock. Like last night I was doing my theses for my my agenda for my courses that I'm making to put them on autopilot, because at this point in my life, I'm doing a lot of consulting, a lot of sessions, and I really want to enjoy my life. I'm going to be 43 years old, and I want to, go enjoy life with my husband too. And I do enjoy it. As you can see, I do things in the weekend, but I want more time. And so this is the whole thing, is I want people that are light workers, that want to help people. I want to show them how to create a successful online business, spiritual, psychic, Reiki, anything, even if it's just affiliate program. I do affiliates too. So it's for everybody. This is for everybody. You don't have to be a spiritual person or a psychic person or psychic business. I put the title there because that's what I do. I'm a spiritual entrepreneur. That is me, spiritual entrepreneur. I get revenue from different avenues, but I work my tail off. And you know what? Back then I did work a lot, 12 hours, 20 years ago, 15, and now I only work 3 hours a day. But since I have a new goal, and my new goal is to retire at a certain age, a couple of years, and I'm getting there. So my new goal, I'm going to work again hard. And like I say, I'm up here doing this tutorial at almost 10 o'clock at night to help you guys. So listen to somebody that is successful. Successful is not a bad thing. It's how, if you're more successful, you have more time to help other people, to help your family, to help yourself, to live. Life is too short not to live it. Work. That's not fun, right? You want to be successful in your business? Take action, devote yourself, be personable with your clients, your students, or people that you work with. Be personable to a certain point, but be happy. Be in a positive atmosphere. Create the positive. If the people are negative around you, just go do my protection, video that I have there. But other than that, I'm just being funny right now. But really, if they're negative around you, change the vibration, change your atmosphere, walk away, okay? Because I'm telling you, to create a successful spiritual business, you're going to have to stay in the higher energy, the higher vibration to manifest. Don't give up on your dream. I never gave up on my dream. I'm living my life today the way I want to because I love it. I get to work my own hours. And I do financially well. And you're going to have the same thing. And I'm giving you the tips. They're very easy to do. First, believe in you. Second, get up in the morning, make a plan, visualize it already happening, that you get so many clients, that you get so many purchases, that God is blessing your life. Give grace and thanks to God in the morning and tell him the number. Don't be afraid. Trust. Just because you're asking for income, that's not evil. The way people use money is. Money ain't. If the more you have, the more you could give to charities, the more you could help, the more you have time to live for yourself and to do the things you love, is help people or do things for your family. The more you have, the more you could take time off to do what you want and to help others. Like a domino effect. Poof, 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 poof. Okay? So listen to me. I'm going to be brief now, and then we could all go to bed, right? And if you're seeing this in the day, I did it late at night because that's what successful people do. They work really late and they create until it takes off. And I'm telling you, I'm only doing this so you could do it, so you could have your successful business like me for 20 years, okay? So I thought I'd do this. But listen to me carefully. Get up and rejoice in the day. And if nobody's awake, lay in bed like me. And I post, I read, I do a lot of creations, and then I meditate and I say thank you and I pray and I through my intention and I start my day. I get up. Visualize the business growing in your head. Visualize. There's a good method, but I'm going to be teaching it after. Is that you visualize your bank account going up and up and up. But I'll teach that method later. That's not this video. But to create a successful business is dedication in the beginning, 8 months. Straight hardcore. I'm talking post, blogging, getting your website out there, everything. Okay, step 2, believe in you, love thyself, give thanks to the Creator. Step 3, as we say, do it, take action. Just don't lay there and think it's all gonna come to you, like that. No, you just, like I say, take action. And step 4 is continue until you see results. Even if you get 1 sale, that's going to motivate you to do it more. And then you're going to get 5 sales, and then you're going to get 10 sales. And I'm just using sales as a metaphor, okay? It could be clients or whatever you're going to do. Don't ever give up. Listen to me. Don't ever give up. And if you want me to guide you on anything, I have free tutorials. If you want a private session, because I do coach for the business and the spiritual business as well, then you could just do a session at spiritwithinreach.com, and there's a link up here. Now, you too can have a very successful online business. Remember, in the beginning, the first 8 months, hit it hard. I'm talking early morning blogging, posting, do what you can. Make it like you already have it. Make a beautiful free website. Make the beautiful cards. It will manifest, trust me. And then let God do his work. Once you took action and created all this energy, God's going to take it and bring it in your life. That's the fun part of it. Okay. So those are tips, simple tips. I'm going to have courses on the actual how to do step by step, but this is simple tips that you can use today, right now. And in the evening, give thanks. Say, I'm going to have a blessed night. I'm so gracious to wake up tomorrow and prosper in abundance and help everyone that surrounds me and comes into my path. And that's it. Those are the simple spiritual business tips. So if you want any advice, you could email me at spiritwithinreach.com or on here, and look forward to more tutorials. And it was a pleasure talking to you. Have a blessed one, you guys.